Welcome back, dear viewers. We have with us here in the studios of Hala Kuwait our special guest, Hamza Taqi, Master Performance Consultant. Of course, Hamza, it's always a pleasure to have you here in the studios of Hala Kuwait.
The pleasure is all mine, my friend, and I'm ready to serve.
Of course, Hamza, you always keep us updated about different topics. And today we'd like to know more about teamwork. I think this is a very important thing.
Oh, teamwork is everything. I mean, teamwork is, family is a team. Students in the classroom, they're a team. So teamwork or team building or living in a team is we live in teams since aeons, since we were hunters and gatherers. We have to protect ourselves, so we are living in community. So this is part of our social species.
Of course, you can see that everywhere. There is a lot of people. Usually they're in groups. Everyone's in different type of groups. There is a lot of different people with different background, different interests, and you always see them in groups. You don't see like usually two people hanging out. You usually see them in groups. So I think one of the main reasons we're talking about teamwork, we'd like to know more about the importance of teamwork.
Yeah. For any work to be innovative, to be creative work, and to progress and grow, you need a team. We say sometimes one hand doesn't clap, although one guy can clap with one hand, I know. But you need the team. Why? Because each one or member of a team would have a role to play. And that would make the achievement of the goal much easier and much simpler, because each one contribute in their own way to produce the results that organization or a country or even a small group of friends, they want to achieve something. They need to have, each one has a role to develop their potential.
Of course, that is very true. I can notice like a lot of people sometimes, as you mentioned, projects or any type of things when you work in groups, it's usually very fast accomplished and easily done. And you can see a lot of people, different type of views, so you can see all perspectives as well.
Absolutely. Of course, if there is harmony between the team. So the team usually goes through 4 stages. The first stage, when they are formed together, they are getting to introduce each other to themselves and get to know each other. And then once let's say the roles have been assigned, you have to do this, I have to do this, you're supposed to do, then there might be some conflict, and they might go to having a great conflict, and they go down a bit. If the leader, there is a very important role for the team, the leader of the team is aware, can understand that this is a stage that we have to go through, and facilitate the conflict and listen to everybody, so everybody has a voice, and then decide to move forward. Then they will go into the norming stage, and the norming stage usually is where they start the performance stage, where they perform and they become a cohesive team, as they say.
I think one of the most hardest part about being in a team is choosing the leader, because I think everyone, when we're in teams, we usually want to be the leader. We don't know there's like specific types of skills that fall under leadership. So can you tell us more about the skills of leadership so we can choose the right leader when it comes to teaming up?
It's funny that we when we were, I think, younger, we would choose to be leaders.
We always want the main role.
Yes, we want to be the main role, but because it comes with pricks, it comes with with benefits, being the leader. But it has a major role. It has a big consequences on the team, on the people, and the group dynamics within the team. Because we know from studies that 70% of people don't leave organization. They leave the manager because the relationship with their manager is not good. That's why they leave. They're not leaving for extra, for example, salary or something like that. No, just because they're so. The role of the team is really, really huge and very important, and really has to be, the skills that he should have, the communication, listening skills, like, You know, as a leader, you always want to talk first, but it devalues the input of the team, because if you see your opinion first, the whole team will say yes, sir.
They will agree with you, of course.
But if you sit silent and ask them to state their opinion, you would have listened to all your entire team, and maybe you would have changed even your opinion because you listened to your team what they want. Because we know that if you don't involve your team in the decision making or in the looking for or looking for the vision or identifying the vision, it's no involvement, they will not be committed to pursue that dreams or to pursue that vision. So it's very important, the communication and putting the right people in the right bus, but even within the bus in the right seats, we say.
Yes, of course. I think this is a very important point, what you mentioned about being a leadership, because I think in a lot of cases, sometimes when you're a leader, sometimes you state your opinion, as you mentioned, and a lot of people might agree. And I think a lot of people sometimes they have different opinions, different perspectives, and this can actually help develop the group.
Definitely, always. Development comes from the people who are doing the work.
Yes.
The leader is thinking about the future. He has to create the right environment for them to excel and maybe take care of some obstacles around them and inspires them to move toward the noble goal that they put as an organization or as a community.
So how do you help them when it comes to that goal exactly?
Basically, being the supporter. Now, see, sometimes a leader feels that they are so busy in their relationship with the board of directors or with the owners of the organization that they don't give time to their people, to their team. So if I am a team member and you are my boss, I want to come to you and I check something with you that I'm doing. Is it correct or not? And you are always busy, then I will not be courageous to come, and I would not have that.
You will hesitate every time.
Absolutely, and it's a missed opportunity, definitely.
Of course, and I think sometimes when it comes to teamwork, there's a lot of times when you have a teammate who might be very difficult to work with.
Yeah.
I think this is a very common case in a lot of situations.
Definitely.
So how do we deal with these kind of people when we have a lot of teammates and some of them can be very difficult to work with?
It happens usually. I've heard it from, university student at the graduation projects. You know, one team member doesn't work and he gets the grade.
I think this used to be very common as well when I was in university.
Yes, still
because
going
they
on.
know that you're going to do the work for them.
Right.
Of course, because we
Exactly.
always want the good grade.
Exactly. So they become enter
become
the
lazy.
bus, and they complacent and dependent on the clever people or the people who wants to excel. They want to do the work. Now, when you have any team, even a family, or a country even, or an organization or a ministry, you know, it's built on the foundation of trust. And here the trust is not the normal trust we're talking about. We're talking about vulnerability trust, like Patrick Lenciano says. Vulnerability where I, as a leader, I'm willing to say, I made a mistake, sorry. Or I'm willing to say, I don't know how to do it. Please help me. And between the colleagues, they are, and once you have that type of trust, that I can talk to you as my boss, is that what you are doing is against the value of the organization. Alerting you.
And this can be very hard. It can be very difficult to do.
Oh, it's very difficult unless the leader models it, and he starts with himself. So he's the role model, and people will follow. Basically, when you are as clear with each other like this, then you can have conflict. Then you can tell your boss, no, this is not the wrong way. The way I see it is this way. And maybe the way I see it as a subordinate is the correct way. We never know. Maybe it's the boss way or the leader way is the correct way. But having that interaction is called productive conflict. And without the trust, you will not have the productive conflict. And once you have the productive conflict, you will be reaching the commitment. You are committed to achieve the goal. You're committed to even and after the commitment, you will be accountable, and not accountable on your behavior, on your work and your output. You are accountable for your teammates as well. So it's not, the accountability doesn't have to come from the boss. From we as colleague, I can tell you, my friend, you didn't finish this, please finish it because we are working. Remember, you know, I remind you and you remind me of my weaknesses, and or you strengthen me with your strength. So we develop until we reach, you know, the result, which everybody working as a team, forming the team, is to reach that desired result. So we have to start from the basis: trust, conflict, and then commitment, accountability, and then at the end we achieve results.
Of course, that's very well put and said. Sure. Of course, Hamza, we'd like to know any word of advice you would like to share with our dear viewers when it comes to teamwork, or even the students at university. Sometimes they have a lot of conflicts when it comes to teamwork.
I would tell them to be clear when you are initiating a team, to have the goal is very clear, like everybody can see it, and then have a chance to chat about the goal and who is going to do what. So we kind of, you know, find the preference of the role that they want to play within that team and put them in the right place. Then we do a trial, and then there is nothing wrong with the stopping and saying, no, we are not achieving the amount that we are achieving because we have, you know, a trust between each other. So I can very easily saying, oh, I goofed, it's my mistake, and I need help. Who can help me with this so we can move around? But then if there is no trust, I would not say it. I will just keep it until the deadline and everybody is confused and the whole thing goes kaput. So main thing is to communicate, put the roles in place, have a clear vision or where you want to go, and charge your team with the energy if you are the leader, or be the leader. You know, it doesn't have to be a leader, appointed leader. Anybody from the team can be a leader with their values, with their inspiration to the team.
Of course, this is a very important point, I think, because sometimes even when the appointed leader, sometimes he doesn't take action, you yourself have to take the action.
Exactly.
And trust is a very important issue when it comes to teamwork.
Absolutely. It's the foundation.
It is. We thank you so much, Hamza, for your time and for being here in the series of Hala Kuwait. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me, and it's my pleasure.
It's our pleasure. Well, dear viewers, we had with us Hamza Taqi, Master Performance Consultant. Let's move on to our next report. Stay tuned.